Hey everyone, Matt from Soundrolling.com, and we have the D3 and we have the D3 Pro from Deity. Cool things about this are basically that this is their range for DSLR and up. You'll see in a minute why the Pro kind of earns its name, from my perspective anyway. So firstly, the D3, this is your entry level mic. I think it's maybe even if you get the basic kit, just $99 or something crazy low like that. I'm trying to remember from IBC. So the whole idea is this is very kind of say what you see. It's just a shorter shotgun, so obviously the rejection isn't as much. But again, it's going on your camera, so it's more maybe for Atmos, that kind of thing. Its internal battery, I think it gets hundreds of hours of battery life out of this. Not only because it's very efficient, but also it's got a power save mode. So basically, once I press this on, press it down, there should, let's see if even I can see it. There should, yeah, you see that green? So that green means that it's on, and then it'll go orange or kick off onto standby if nothing is plugged in to the output. You'll notice that actually both of these work with a 3.5 millimeter connection, but this is 4-pin, or there's three lines, so 4 different pins in it, and it's able to tell you, or it's able to figure out, say if I had my phone or if I had a Sennheiser G3. The whole idea is that it can just configure itself automatically. When going into phones, I've done different videos on this, but some of them won't work with certain default camera apps, but there's an app called Open Camera where you can get that to work on your phone as well. So do check that out. So apart from the price, obviously this one's a little bit more, but this is pretty much that is it. Like it's a mic, it sounds nice, but it's very kind of it's just kind of what it is. Whereas the D3 Pro is very, very interesting. Firstly, more rejection. So again, now you can physically be able to put this into, say, a more professional boom pole shock mount and be able to kind of swing that above someone's head. You're getting enough rejection there, especially for stuff that isn't kind of severe in terms of right next to a motorway, etc., etc. Really nice feature. So, firstly, in the inbuilt battery, you still get about 50 hours out of it. Fast charging USB-C. Everyone's got like a phone bank these days, so even if you're starting to run low, charging in between lunch, things like that. Also has the standby feature and will shut itself off as well. So again, if there's nothing plugged into it, kind of feeding it, then it will just turn itself off and save even more battery. You'll notice as well that there's a 75 and a 150 on here, if you can see that. It just goes out of focus. And that is basically your low cut, so you're able to cut everything below 75 Hertz or anything below 150. This is also the button you press to cycle through them, but you press it also to get the unit on. And you should be able to see that there. Orange means it's waiting for a signal, and then as soon as it's plugged into something, like say if I turn this G3 on, it'll go green. And now we know that we're ready to send audio straight to that. So very nice feature as well. But you'll notice this dial, and there's a line on the one that is actually reading the correct value. And the whole idea of this is that you have an extra 20 decibels of stepless gain, which means that you're not just like up by +1, +1, +1. It's stepless, so just like a kind of its own mixer fader knob. And again, this makes it super useful and a lot more interesting compared to just the D3 for my purposes, because again, if I go back to this kind of wireless boom scenario, I'm able to dial in how much I need. Or if I had my phone and I'm doing a podcast, many apps don't let you control the volume of the input, whereas this one, if it was especially low or high, I'm able to adjust that. So that's really, really nice, and this is why it basically makes it a real pro for me in terms of having all the facilities that I would want from it. Sounds pretty good too. I've done other videos on that. I won't crash into that today. But again, because you've got that longer rejection axis, it means it's going to be a slightly tighter polar pattern than this one. And with the extra gain as well, even just having gain management alone is going to allow you to be a lot more flexible and a lot more professional. So that concludes the differences between the D3 and the D3 Pro. If you have any comments, questions, get them down below. And otherwise, you can watch my other videos on them independently. And of course, podcast, blah, blah, blah. I've got a million things going on. So until next time, see you later.